leadership. So you seen it right there? So one of the counts. Okay. Unfavorable working condition with the leadership. So if you're talking about their relationship with the leadership, then you know.
So they couldn't meet to have a common ground. That's what I'm asking.
It's unfavorable.
No intervention.
It's unfavorable.
Yeah, but even though you can have unfavorable,
lack of independence, no trust. These were counts that they give.
That is not a good thing for the leadership of the CPP.
No.
Like you said, we got less than 60 days to election. If you have a county that like Nimba and you have the entire,
the CPP
executives in Nimba County that is vote rich, and they're resigning, then it already signals a problem. So has the party come up to say anything since they resigned?
They resigned today. Okay. So CPP is still on the pause. They have not come out to issue any statement, press release, nothing, but they're on the pause. Today, the CDC had a major press conference, and the national chairman, Moba Molu, vows that upon the second round, is it second round or second term? Second term victory, yes, seditions are going to be prioritized. Now, this is the perception of a lot of people. Now, some seditions said and they felt that, when President Weah or Senator Weah wins the elections, it should be all about seditions. You understand? That was the perception. But governance is not all about, and one thing, those people who support the party, support the ideology of the party, they must one way benefit. So we're looking at job creation. From where the Unity Party left this country, we're looking at how they left this country without a lot of jobs being given to a lot of people, which wherein a lot of people suffered because no job. So if you are creating job, you're not just creating job based on party sentiments, but you are creating job based on independence and the person's ability to effectuate the capacity. So I think more seditions have realized that, and they've gone to advance themselves, and they are prepared now for the job market. So the chairman is saying that upon the second term, those of you seditions who have advanced yourself, those of you seditions who are qualified, those of you seditions who agitated and propagated the policy of the party and make sure that President Weah is elected or re-elected, those of you who have reached the benchmark, the next government, you people will be included in that government. So I think seditions now, they have a breeding ground. Those that are qualified, even those that are unqualified, they still have some other jobs for unqualified people, like these physical jobs that people do, like doing this hand work, and all of that. So I think, but it's right that people struggle in the Commission, NEC and the international community to the recent violent and unprovoked attack on our partisans on Monday, August 2023, which led to a bloody experiences. We have consistently maintained and respected adherence to the Farmington Declaration and call on all of our partisans to conduct themselves consistent with the tenets of our party. However, the signature and hallmark of the CDC have been violence, intimidation, and insane acts of political torture. Honoring the leadership of George Weah, they planned, orchestrated, and organized a casket-toting, picture-toting campaigns, reaching me dead. When they did not succeed, they are now desperately resorting to violence. The only thing they know best. George Weah and his gangs, that's what the words he used, are desperate, tangible to campaign on. So there's distributed poverty, wrecked debt.
I mean, go to the names of the people who the man named as his campaign, people who are on the campaign.
That's what I'm getting a bit and pieces. But there was something he said here about violence, where they would not tolerate people attacking them. They will react and they will defend themselves. And you're talking about the Farmington Declaration and all of that. So that's the contract.
It only tells you that what Mwali said just last weekend. If Ambassador Boaka says that today, then he's reaffirming what Mwali said last week. He's telling the Liberian people that he has given his blessings to what Mwali said last weekend. And that is just sad, because if you sign up to a document and you come out to the Liberian people and say something different, the last person who that kind of statement should be coming from is the former vice president, who is perceived as somebody who loves peace and stands on the side of peace. It's sad because last week we all know that as of now, it's today that they have named, campaign activities, and some people on the campaign team, they had not done that since last week. And just to name these people, what he did today in a press conference was what they should have done last week, but instead they wanted to, they wanted violence. They wanted, to make sure that they cause confusion. That is why the same place that the CDC was going is where they went to announce, their schedule for campaign. What Ambassador Boaka did today is what he should have done last week. And the timings they gave, they did not meet up to those timings. Do you have the names there? Have you found them now?
No.
Okay. They didn't live up to that. So if Ambassador Boaka says that, is sad. And I think, elections are, campaign is open now. It's good that they have announced that, because there are reports that they have the money. Why are they not coming out to campaign? It's just seen as a one-man show right now. Ambassador Boaka has been all out soliciting fundings, and we're not seeing the Unity Party coming out and running campaign. Run campaign with your opponents. Let's see you guys run a clean campaign, and let's see what you can tell the people. But this take for tech, I don't think it's fine, because you guys have all signed up to the Farmington Declaration. His Excellency the President, wherever he goes, since he has been on this campaign trail from last week, all he talks about is peace, and he tells his people that do not cause confusion. There is a way you can tell. He has been telling the people of Liberia, all those districts he has been going to, why he believes that he should be given a second term. That's we want to hear Vice President Joseph Yuma Boaka, instead of when you come out and you fight us, we're going to fight you. Because the fact of the matter is, you Unity Party partisans, you started it last week, and we appreciate the fact that you've already come out today to name the places you'll be campaigning and who all are going to be out there. It's important. We know it now. We're going to be following you wherever you go. And the Liberian people want to know exactly what, Joseph Yuma Boaka or the Unity Party has has to offer Liberia. And so it is what it is. And we're going to open up the lines and get a few calls this evening on our open conversation. And then we will go straight into it and talk to our guest who is already around. You already know the number is 0880-514-096. If you call that number, you can lend your thoughts on what we've discussed as it relates to what's trending in Liberia. And then we can get straight into it. And
Exactly.
so I'm sure we have a very first caller on the line. Good evening.
Hello. Hello.
Hello.
How you doing?
Yeah, hello.
You're live. Go ahead. Go ahead. We're hearing you. Tell us your name and where you're joining us from.
Okay, this is Paul Sosa, and I call from Vocal Nation.
Let's hear you, Paul.
Thank you. I listened to the Ambassador Bata press conference I heard today, and exactly what you just said, how it was going to be. Even they try to be to the hospital, and now those people try to be on the thing, but because they wanted to cause confusion, this is why they went in the same direction that President Weah was supposed to be. But today in Nima County, American correspondent Mont for the radio station this afternoon. They said Jeremiah and Prince Johnson, they are doing campaign going from district to district. But when the visited those districts, all the attendants were poor.
Okay, thank you. We'll do our independent investigation when it comes to that. Thank you. Hello. Good evening.
Good evening. Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening. Go ahead. What's your name and where you call from?
Well, thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm Emmanuel N. Tupachinio, given chairperson of the Liberation Party, P of the Muslim County.
Go ahead, quickly, Manuel. Go ahead.
Yeah, from the whole community. Well, let me appreciate the two of you, for the open conversation. What?
Okay. Good evening. Hello.
Yeah, good evening, Washington, and good evening to
Please lower the volume of our radio behind you, please.
Yeah, this is E. Ansham Bapu, District 5, and Chairman for Movement for We Are One Round Table.
Go ahead, answer very quickly.
Yeah, I listened to the announcement made by our brother in the opposition, the United Party. I think it clearly shows that they know that they have no chance in the election, so they are doing everything to either go to what they've been thinking on from 2018 of the president, which is to have the infant leadership of what they are fighting for. But I want to ask our young people, we the young people, other people that support George Weah, let us remain peaceful and remain united and focus on what we are doing. Our imagine today, doing some little canvassing, and I know what happened there, and I see what is going on. So I want to encourage our young people, please, as I'm getting in District 5 and District 6 and District 11, they're going through. I'm asking you guys to remain peaceful, let us be focused, and I know by the grace of God we're going to make it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. So that's how we go.
Thank you so much. We're not taking any call again on this one. We are totally out of time. I'm told that the Unity Party did not even release any list today, which is sad. We're just seeing bits and pieces of names, coming up, but we don't have a full list of that. And for me, that is not, a party that is coming to counter the ruling establishment must be prepared. Give us something that we all know exactly who is doing what, where are you going at this time, where will you be at this other time, what date, like the CDC did more than a week ago, telling the Liberian people exactly where they are campaigning, when they will be in this other district, what other district they're going to, and when they're going to this county, what other county they're going to after. That is just being responsible as a political party. But if you're giving us bits and pieces and names of, it's just a recipe for confusion, and that has to stop, because all of you have signed up to the Farmington Declaration.
Exactly.
And what need is peace. Go to these elections, and whoever wins, and then we walk away.
Exactly. All right, so that is it. Now we have our prom guests currently seated in our studios. Let's use this opportunity to say good evening and welcome to you, Madam Karishma Pelham-Raad. Good evening.
Good evening.
Just put a microphone. What's the number? Is it number 4? Mark 4. Okay. Good evening, madam.
Good evening. Good evening.
It's a pleasure having you.
Oh, thanks for the invite.
Thank you too. So let's cross over to the table. I think you're going to start up this thing.
Madam Red, how you doing?
I'm okay. I would love to call Karishma.
Oh, okay, Karishma.
Thank
Okay,
you.
that's the name your people know you by, right?
Thank you.
So if we say Madam Red, they will now understand exactly who is Madam Red. Listen, that. Okay, I understand that. Then you see the politicians, they know how to grab their audience anyway. How are you?
I'm very exhausted. I'm just for one of my, I think in my second or third engagements for today.
Okay, campaign started. When did you start campaigning?
The moment campaign open.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
great. And how is it going?
So far, so good. We have a lot of issues, a lot of issues that we're trying to resolve in different communities.
Okay.
So like today was in the Poloturi community, we had to work with some of the teams there to make sure that we put the light on, the been out of electricity for about 2 to 3 months.
Okay.
So after that,
Oh, you're talking about what's happening in your district, right?
yeah.
Okay. Okay,
Okay.
I know it's a lot. Okay, so before we go to that, tell us a little bit. Who is Karishma? Your family and professional background. Would like to know about that.
Okay, so my name is Karishma Pelham-Raad, a very simple girl from Grand Bassa County. So before I continue, a lot of my followers are asking, what is a live platform they want to follow?
LNTV Liberia Live. LNTV.
Is it live?
Liberia
Because they're saying the
it's
show is not live.
Live.
Okay.
LNTV Liberia Live. If they're listening to us, let's go to LNTV
Liberia
Liberia
Live.
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 Yeah,
Sure.
you can just
I can just share the link for them.
Yeah.
LNTV Liberia Live.
exactly.
So you are from where I am right now. Okay, I'm coming. LNTV Liberia Live. I'm sorry, but I just want to NTV Liberia Live. Okay, so I got it
You got it
here.
right?
Yep.
It's simple.
All right. So I got it right here. LNTV Liberia Live. Okay. All right. Thank you very, very much. And again, I'm Karishma Pelham-Raad, a widow. I was married to the late also Pelham, Mont Pelham widow's brother that passed. So I lost my husband a year after our marriage. And educational wise, I'm doing my master's in international relations at the EME University. And I'm also doing a diplomatic course at the European Academy of Diplomacy in Poland on the Foreign Service, international diplomacy. And I work with MTN professionally. I'm a network engineer. I work with MTN Liberia for 8 years. I served from the rank and files of the telecommunications sector. I started from the iceberg of the company, the customer service, and then moved into marketing and network finance, and before going to network department. So I say I have a little bit of financial skills because I did some couples of financial reportings back then when I was with MTN in the finance department, and then did a lot of sales marketing. So I understand a little bit about branding. And then after leaving the MTN sector, I served for 12 years in that field. I served for 4 years at Commune Liberia before moving to MTN. And in 2018, I took a different stand. I work in the entertainment industry where I serve as brand ambassador for Aqua Life Liberia, SIGA Security, and Nikon Liberia for a couple of years before getting into the political side. So right now in our political arena, I'm focused on my work in my district, international conferences to build myself, leadership programs. So I run one of the biggest foundations in Liberia where we deal with the visually impaired sector. We deal with environment that needs a lot of support.
What's the name of that foundation?
It's called the HRH Charity Foundation. You can also check it up on Facebook. Our website is there. We've done a lot of work, both in and out of Liberia.
What do you do with those people?
So we do some close distribution. It depends on our assessment for the different communities where we visit. And
Is it
then
specific to your district?
No.
Okay.
Within Liberia. So we did some engagement within Bomi, Lofa, Grand Bassa County. I even did some engagement in Nigeria. I collaborated with the Tondo Dike Foundation in Nigeria. We did some work in Ghana as well. So my organization has been working internationally as well. So we have been awarded internationally a couple of times, different countries, Tanzania.
Is it your personal
Ghana.
organization?
Yes, it is. It is. I'm the founder and CEO of that organization. It's called the
Where do you get the money
Charity
from?
Foundation. We do some GoFundMe sometimes, but when I was running there, most of the times I do use my personal funds because it's difficult to get support in Liberia.
Your personal funding
Yes.
for a foundation that is one of the biggest in Liberia. And
Yes,
you have
because-
internationally you give, to people in other countries, and how much money do you make to just, give out like that?
So what we do project based.
Okay.
So for example, if we're trying to feed 500 people, sometimes we want to go for me on social media.
Okay.
So I have one of my team member that works with me. He's in the States. So he will initiate that. And then we tell the people why we are running that. So sometimes people donate.
Okay.
Yeah, so we can be able to achieve what we want. And sometimes in other countries we collaborate. Like for the Tondo Dike Foundation, they are more bigger than mine.
Okay.
So when I'm in Nigeria, we put the ideas together, how to do the distribution, how to work together, and all of that. And the little that my foundation can contribute, and we'll put it together, we'll get it done.
Great. So I heard you talking about you being a brand ambassador for several companies, right? What does a brand ambassador do?
So you market a product. So as a brand ambassador for Aqua Life, I market the water at the time.
Okay.
So when I started to become the brand ambassador for Aqua Life was bought by a new company, and a lot of people were not drinking the water because the water was bad at the time. So there was a company that bought it from the Indians, the Lebanese company that bought it, and then they refined the water. They came up with different system and all of that. So when we took Aqua Life on, it was completely at a very lowest stage that even sometimes the trucks go out and they bring the water back. So we needed to convince people why they should choose Aqua Life, why they should come back to Aqua Life. What's the difference? So we had to do that branding. So normally I use my social media platform, and then I have my own techniques. I reach out, take the car, go from shops to shop, places to convince people. So it involves a lot of talking, branding.
Okay.
So as a brand ambassador, you help promote the product that you are signed on to.
Okay.
So we promote it.
So is it similar to being a beauty queen?
No. Beauty queen is quite different.
Okay.
Brand ambassador, you have to think out of the box. You have to understand what a product is, and you also have to understand your market.
Okay, great. So district number 10 is highly politically charged. So are you ready for the district assignment as a representative?
I am.
Why are you seeking to replace Yeke Koluba, who has been there for some time now?
Because our district lacks proper representation.
What does that mean?
So, Yeke Koluba happens to be the representative, yes, but he is poorly representing the district. We see Yeke in exchanges with the media most times. His approach to situations, his approach to issues is where he goes wrong. Sometimes he has salient points. Sometimes he's right about what he's saying. He is the issue that is affecting either the nation, the district, or the young people. But his approach, the way he presents it, is the wrong way. And that's not what the Shaitan needs, because in presenting the proper information in the wrong way, you get no result. So definitely it's like giving the message, a right message to a wrong messenger.
Do you think the people of district number 10 have a problem with that?
Of course, even at this point in time, the people, where we are right now, the people is yearning for proper representation, proper leadership.
Oh, they're yearning for proper leadership. That's what I told you.
Yes, of course. It's not.
Okay.
I live in the district.
Okay.
I'm not just moving in the district. I work in district
How long
10
have
for
you been in that district?
over 10 years.
Okay.
I work in the district. I lived in the district. Even when it comes to current security issue, our district has come up to be one of the most violent district right now.
Do you think Yeke is responsible for that?
Of course, because there's a lot of things that could be avoided. Like the recent situation that happened, it was announced that President Weah was visiting the district. I closed my office earlier. I had my staff leave office at 3:30. So it could have been avoided. He could have just got something different doing. Let them come do what they want to do and leave. So in that you protect your constituents. You protect the lives of the people you are representing.
Do you think your district made a mistake to elect Yeke Koluba as representatives?
I would say yes, of course, because where we are right now, we have so many important issues that needs to be discussed. But unfortunately, we don't have a proper representation. When you talk about the drugs issue in our district, when you talk about the drugs issue, let me give you a typical example when I mean proper representation of what I'm talking about. So there was this situation that occurred with Yeke Koluba and his 2 weeks babies, right? Where the kid's passport was taken from them at the airport, and he came to raise the alert on social media, and people had people listen. The manner in which he raised the issue with the insults, with the arrogance. How do people even understand the importance of advocating for those kids? So I remember one of my interviews, I was clear on it to make mention that the government is wrong. If this really happens, the government is wrong, because you cannot hold a 2-month-old baby responsible for the father's behavior. In fact, that's child abuse. Even Yeke's wife, you cannot. Yeke, you have an issue with Yeke, you deal with Yeke.
Do you think Yeke was saying the truth, or you're just assuming that if what he was saying is the truth, then he has a point?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. If what he said, if it's the truth, then definitely this is wrong. But then again, how did he put the message out? If he was putting his information out properly, if he was communicating in a more appropriate manner, he will have results.
Yeke could come after you for criticizing him. You know that, right?
But this is where we are. I criticize the government. I criticize the government on national
people.
I'm telling you, I've been attacked.
Yeke Koluba is not that person who takes anything lying down. You are contesting against Yeke Koluba.
Okay.
So if you criticize Yeke Koluba, you are cognizant of the fact that he's going to come after you, right?
We are prepared.
Okay. So
it's not just about, it's not the fact that I'm running against him, meaning I am trying to criticize him. I'm speaking on the issues.
Okay, great.
And for the fact there is an issue, definitely we're going to speak on those issues.
What are some of the pressing needs of district number 10 that you want us to, get involved with and solve as a lawmaker?
For one of it has to do with the educational system in our district, especially the public schools.
What's wrong with the public schools?
Okay, so most of the public schools have renovation issues, needs to be renovated. That's one. Secondly, it has need a proper learning environment.
Can you speak to the mic, please?
Needs a proper learning environment for the kids. for the 3 public schools we have in our district, we have only one that is up to senior high level. The other one is up to junior high, and the other one is up to elementary level. So having this situation, we have a lot of dropout because most of the people that the kids goes to move from the elementary to junior high level, they don't have another means to get the kids out of the district to put them in a private school or even in a different public school because they are struggling to pay that little fees at the public school, so they cannot afford to send the kids to another district where they will be able to transport them to go to school every day.
What are you going to do differently when it comes to that when you're elected?
We want to make sure that all our public schools in the district are up to high school level.
You're going to be pushing for that, but it's not a 100% assurance that will happen because...
Yes, but we're definitely going to push for that because it's very key for our district.
Do you think Yeke is not pushing for that? The lawmaker before Yeke, you think that lawmaker did not see that?
I've not heard anything of that on the radio when Yeke is on the radio. I see here the journalists insulting each other and they are going back and forth and the issue has not been discussed, so I've not heard. So I can speak to that. So what I'm speaking for is myself, what I intend to do. I intend to push that. So we're going to push that. We're going to use all our energy, all our strength, how to build our network in the parliament with our colleagues that we can be able to push it, not just for district number 10, for other public schools too, to benefit. So if we are pushing to make sure that all public schools in the various districts that have limited public schools can be pushed to high school level, District 10 will be one of them.
It doesn't just happen like that. The government has to have the money to do that.
So that's what
happens. You know, they will have to have teachers for those schools, and to have teachers, those teachers have to be on payroll. So it's not as easy as, you know, it sounds.
And we're still going to push for it.
Okay.
Besides education, in every good thing, there's a rocky road. It's not easy, but there's a solution, and it can happen. It needs to start from somewhere.
Great.
So that is one of the things we're going to push for. The next one has to do with technology. Almost all technology. Almost all our public schools, they don't have a facility when it comes to technology.
What do you mean when you say facility when it comes to technology?
A computer lab setup for the kids to have access to doing the research.
How is that going to happen in your
So our both public schools, the 3 public schools, we intend to make sure that a computer lab system is set up in those 3 public schools.
Where does the money come from to do that?
Whether it comes from the government, the educational sector, the budget, it has money there for education. So if there's a way we can lobby it, we're definitely going to try. If not, we are going to take up our own project.
Who's going to fund that project?
I have my foundation. I could use my foundation to raise funds for that. If not, I can be able to lobby with some of my colleagues to tell them, this is it. We have international organizations that will be willing to invest in that invest in education.
What are those international organizations?
You have the United Nations, you have UNDP.
Is United Nations going to fund you as a lawmaker to...
They're not going to be funding me as a lawmaker. They are going to be funding a particular project. So we could come up with our project proposal for a library, for example, a library in our district. We come up with a project proposal for a computer lab within a school, and we tell them this is what we need in this school, this is what we need in this schools, this is our project. Can you support us? Can you sponsor us? If that doesn't work, we will do our own lobbying. We will be able to push it. If not, we'll go back to the educational budget where there is money for education. We'll tell them in District 10, this is what we need in our schools. This is what we have.
Whether that is how, like, the UNDP, UNESCO, or whatever.
They sponsor projects. It depends.
They do sponsor projects, but they sponsor individual projects? They work with the government. So as a
not only the government, they also work with entities. They work with, for example, NGO. I own an NGO.
And I'm a CEO. You believe that as a lawmaker, they're going to work with you?
They are working with other lawmakers that have NGOs. For example, you have the vice president. She has her own NGO. She has a foundation. Her foundation is taking up projects. So it depends. You separate your foundation from the political side, but you still achieve. So my foundation is going to be separated. It's my foundation is not running as my political what, but I'm getting what I want to get done through my foundation. So if I have a project, this is one of my projects that has to do with technology. So that project, it goes under my foundation. If I cannot get that money, if we don't have that much money in the budget to fund that, I can get that done through my foundation.
There's a lot of that is going to cost.
Probably $20,000 to $30,000 can set up a good lab in 3 schools. You need at least 10 of these desktops. You can start from 10 desktops or 15 desktops in each school. A small little computer lab. Make sure we put a Wi-Fi that runs for a year with them, and then we have a system set up where someone in the lab can manage it. Well, if you want to come to do
that person,
well, the school will take care of that, because you can have someone who manages a lab and you have someone who manages the library.
But the schools don't have libraries, a technology lab, or so. If you bringing that to the school, that is additional responsibility. So somebody has to be, teachers have to be there, because the library cannot be there or the lab cannot be there, and the students don't use.
That's why they have administration. So when we bring in something that's going to benefit the students, that's going to benefit the school, the administration is going to find a way to manage it, because we're going to build it. And when we're done setting it up, we're going to turn it over to the institution. So it's not really going to
money, so you have to provide the money for the teachers or people who are going to teach the students. It can be on them, because if they don't have it, then the purpose for which you're creating this.
No, I don't think in our curriculum, computer is technology is not part of it. It is. When you talk about
private schools,
it is part of it.
Yeah, yes. Private school. In a private school, if your child is doing, computer and what have you have to pay some extra money for
it's
that.
Part of the curriculum. For the fact it is part of the curriculum for within our educational system. Meaning it's not something that we are coming to add. It's something that is there for the facility. For government school, it is part of the curriculum for government schools.
But you're not there now, so that
it is not.
It's part of the curriculum. It is not functioning curriculum.
So it will function if the facility is given. So the MCSS will now be responsible to bring in an instructor, because it is there. It's not something that we are adding, and we are only giving them the facility. It is there. It is part of the curriculum. It's just the example of you having chemistry, right? In high school, students are supposed to do chemistry. But how many public school has a chemistry lab? So if I'm willing to provide a lab that the children can go and do protocol for chemistry, I'm adding to what they already has on the curriculum. I'm only trying to transform it to give them the facility they need. So computer science, computer as in general, is part of the curriculum when it comes to the public school. Unfortunately, our government has not paid attention to the implementation of computer labs for those public schools. So if we coming in as a lawmaker and decide to do it, we are going to do it and turn it over to MCSS. This is it we were able to do for this public school, and we are completed and we are turning it over to you. So they're going to manage it from that point moving forward.
I agree. I like the way you say it, but it usually doesn't happen that way, because even though it is a part of the curriculum, but if the government hasn't budgeted for that, because they're not, that's not what they're doing in the schools, it's an added.
How can you say that's not what they're doing in the school? It's so long as it's part of the curriculum.
It is part of the curriculum, but it is not functioning as of yet.
So how is it going to function?
If you bring it, then you have to make sure that the people who are going to teach the students also have some compensation. And if the government does not provide that compensation because it's not part of the budget, because the government did not put it there, then whatever you're doing is just for charade, because there is a reason why you want that to happen, and you've brought it. According to you as a lawmaker, you look for funding, you bring it in, and it's in the school. But if there is no teacher for that, because government doesn't have the money to fund it, then it's a waste. That's what I'm saying.
Then again, I will ask you the question: So I think you're going to play a more bigger role when it comes to your representation. Are you going to take in consideration that you bring these things in the government schools, and then you represent yourself and the district to ensure that the government, put these things or these fundings in the budget? Is that what you're going to do?
So what we're going to do is I'm going to look into the educational budget moving forward to see what is all the schools that are actually affected when it comes to technology, because my assessment has to do with my district. So if it's in that direction, we also going to work along with the MCSS. So when we are implementing, we're going to work with them, because they bring the teacher, they do the recruitment, they implement when it comes to instructors. So if we are building or computer class, let's say for example, we're going to let them know that this is what we are doing here, and they will be aware, and when we are done, this is what we will need from you, and you have to provide an instructor, you have to provide someone to manage it. So it's going to be agreed upon with us. We're going to work together as a team to achieve that. And for the fact that it's part of the curriculum already, I don't think that's going to be a problem. I think we are just going to help them to achieve what they are supposed to achieve as per the curriculum for our young people, because we are in a digital world. We are far behind as a country when it comes to technology. So we cannot continue to say because it's not in the budget, or because who's going to pay or who's not going to pay, and deprive our young people from having the kind of facility they are supposed to have, or the education line they are supposed to have. For example, if you go to my office right now in the Peace Island, I have free internet. At my office, free internet. Anyone can connect. In fact, you go to my office at 5 a.m. You still see people sitting outside connected to the internet. How long? They do that. It's been running there since March. It's been.
Is it not because you want to be lawmaker?
No,
it's been running since March.
No, because I just opened my office there. The moment I open my office there, I place it there. So it's running.
Is it going to be running?
It's going to be consistent. It's going to continue.
Sure. Do you have an office?
No, there's only there I have my office. I live in Sophie community, where I have my house. I also have free Wi-Fi in my house, but how many persons will want to use it? Other people have their own personal stuff. It's open.
Who live around your house, all of them have personal stuff?
No, I live in a compound. There's apartments. People have the personal connections. But there are a few people in the compound, like workers or stuff that needs connection to get connected to my network. So it's just the fact of people having access to do the research. When they need to connect with the family, they can connect. It's only Liberia that we are struggling for technology. Other countries, even you enter the supermarket, you go to a restaurant to eat, you have free Wi-Fi. You enter the mall to shopping, you have free Wi-Fi. Technology-wise, we are behind. Internet here is more like gold dust.
Okay, so you're gonna make sure that that happens in the public schools in your district.
Exactly.
What else?
Okay, we're gonna be able to work to see how best we can lobby when we have the healthcare funds to be able to establish a proper public health care in our district. So someone will say, where is District 10? District 10 runs from where you have the Invisible Park all the way to the former Charles Taylor House, our former President Taylor House, where you got the adjacent the Palm Spring Hotel. So half of Conga Town back row, of 70% of the Conga Town back row is part of District 10. And the entire side you see at the back of Charles Taylor House, where you got the Paco Island, half of it is also in District 10, another half of it is in District 5. And then you have the whole Conga Town, you have the Catholic Junction, you have all of those places, the Cabra and all of that. Within this range, we don't have a proper public health care, which I think is a necessity for over 85,000 people. We have mothers losing their babies because they're getting pain at night, and somebody have to be looking for a bike rider to put that woman on the bike while she's in pain, because everybody runs to JFK. And worst case scenario, you get a JFK, many times it happens, there's no bed. They cannot take you in. Your family got to find somewhere else to take you. We have the Catholic hospital. There is a big hospital, but it's a private hospital.
So
what do you pay to?
When it comes to public health?
So we have the money is there. It's in the budget. There is money there for health care. So we're gonna try and lobby to make sure.
In the budget for healthcare.
Right now I can't say off here, but there's money there for healthcare, and for the fact that we have money for healthcare,
And you
and
think that money is not being used?
it's been used for different purposes, but recently when the U.S. ambassador did his investigation, what was supposed to be used for almost all the different healthcare, what they're supposed to benefit from, all the hospitals around, they have not received the support for 5 years.
Have you
When he did his assessment?
Have you done your own assessment?
I'm coming. I'm not
Because
I'm
it's
doing
like-
my own assessment in my district is what I lay out to you to tell you that we need a public health care. And you ask me what the phones has been used for.
Uh-huh.
Some people are using the phones for the personal use, because if the phones are there, like the U.S. is one of our major sponsors when it comes to supporting the healthcare. The U.S. So if the U.S. ambassador is coming and saying that we are supporting this, we are putting this amount of funds into your health sector, but only to do my assessment to realize that over the past 5 years since the government took power, that the medical centers around the country have not received, majority of them, over 90% of them have not received their support for 5 years. That tells you that we are into a complete corruption time where the healthcare money is not being used for the purpose it's supposed to be used. So we will oversight it
Karishma.
to make sure that it's used. So our oversight is to make sure that money is used for the particular purpose that is used for it.
Okay, so I agree. I hear all what you're saying about, the U.S. ambassador, and I'm not even sure that he says that, 90% of.
Oh, the record is there. I can even provide you the letter. It was an issue statement, and it's there. It's even on social media. I share that on my platform. So even if you want it after this, I can help you with it.
Send it to me, where he says that 90% of the money they provided for the healthcare center is not being used. My question to you was, how much is in a budget for, healthcare that is not being used? And you say you don't know how much that money.
Right now,
Yeah.
yes, right now. So
You said the U.S. ambassador. You're only talking on his statement that the U.S. ambassador made. You want to
that statement is a powerful statement. It was a powerful statement. Do you know what it means for your international partners to come out and say that?
Send that statement to me that says that 90% of what the U.S. is giving to the health sector is not being used, because that is what you're using to characterize the whole sector as, going in somebody's pocket. As a lawmaker, you're going to change that. Why you find that? Where in district number 10 are you going to have this public health a center? Because you say you don't have a public health center that the people can go to. What is your idea of where this public health center is going to be in district number 10?
So the government has a lot of land in different areas. So for example, when we raise the issue and we conclude on it, because when we talk about healthcare, I'm not the only district that probably needs a healthcare. So when we are advocating, for example, for the healthcare, so we say, okay, for districts that really need it, it's a necessity. So district number 10 comes as one of them. So the thing with you remember the healthcare that was built in Bapulu, right?
The Emirates.
Thank you. So that's healthcare funds. So how that was built is the same way we need a healthcare in district number 10. So in that direction, the government is going to be the one providing the land. Government has land all over. So they will provide. So we don't have a problem.
Center going out of district number 10 because
no, it's not going out of district number 10. It's district. I said they will find the space within district number 10. The government has lands in district number 10. They have lands in all districts. The government owns lands in every district, in every area within Liberia. So they will come out and say, okay, we have land in this area, or we have land in that area, or we have land in this area. So which area you prefer for us to put the health care? And then we'll come back to our people and we'll give them the option. We agree with them together because we're going to be representing over 85 5,000 people will make the decision together.
So that one is
Yes.
left with the government now.
Yes,
You
yes.
said there is no healthcare, center, public healthcare in your district, but you have not, as a lawmaker to come, you have not, found anywhere in your district where there is.
I am not the lawmaker yet, please, ma'am.
Yes, you're not the lawmaker. You want to be lawmaker.
Yes.
And these are some of the things you want to happen in your district.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought, you had an idea where you have a land that
We don't have a problem where the government intend to put it. It just have to be in district number 10.
So if there is no land, then where does the government put that?
And there is land in district number 10. The government owns
Where
land in district number 10. The government owns land in district number 10. They will come up with where they have the land, where they can give. They know what they have. So what we need is a decent public health care in district number 10, affordable for the people of district number 10.
Okay.
That's what we need.
So, what are some of the initiatives you have undertaken in your district besides, this foundation you've talked about, for which you think the people of district number 10 would gravitate towards you?
So we work with our people on issues that has to do with electricity, just in case for our different communities. When there are issues, when we call upon, we look into it. We mainly work with most of the young people as well, the women, and we do a lot when it comes to education. So I work with most of the public schools. We have kids in almost all the public schools. We take care of some of the kids' school fees. We work with some private schools.
What are some of those schools?
The Peace Island Public School, the Gaytown Public School.
How does it work when you say we have, some of those kids in public school? What is your engagement? How do you get the kids in?
Okay, so when the school opens, we reach out and then we find out some of the kids, whether how many of them are out that have not been able to pay and all of that. And then we get a full listing. So when we get the listing, we look at the listing and see what we can prioritize from those listing, because we cannot help everybody at the same time. So sometimes we take like 50 students from that institution and we tell them, okay, we'll take care of 50% fees. And then we'll be able to do it. The public school, someone was there, I thought the public school is free. Of course it's free, but there are fees that has to be paid for the kids to be in school. Some of the classes take $2,000 Liberian dollars, some take $2,000 to $3,500. Some of them is around $2,500. So we take about 50, sometimes we have like 100 persons from a particular institution. It depends on what we can afford at the time to pay. Is our little way to support back to give our little support when it comes to education. And then we have some of the public schools that we visit that need, even though they are public schools, but they are in the communities. Some of them need some renovations, like one of the schools we work with in the Bache community where you have the Polotori. When we got there, it's an elementary school though. So when we say, well, I want to invest, I'm in politics, I need people to vote for me, right? But it's elementary school, it's for kids. It starts to 6th grade. But when we got there, the school was totally it needed renovation. All the areas for the kids, no ceiling. When the kids in class, the window, the rain, the place is cool. They barely have chairs and stuff like that. The place is not painted. They look, and we wanted to help, so we provided paint, we provided ceiling, we provided some of the doors needed lock and stuff like that. We provided some curriculum. We were able to get some books for the kids, copy books and stuff. So these are things we do to help the little way we can to be able. And then we work with most of the young people. We try to spread out some peaceful messages to them. We motivate them why they should do better. Some of our mothers, we connect with them. We have some conversations. We talk about what we can do in the line of skills building, how we can make our community a safe space for each other. And then we talk to some of our young people in the different environments where we notice that we have a lot of drugs abuse, talking to them to see how to, but then it's a bit difficult because in the district, we don't have a skill or public skill building institution where you can be able to take the kids to say, okay, I'm taking you from the ghetto, for example, or I'm trying to get you clean up and I want to give you something better. So you go to this skill school, you get trained, and then after, while you are trained, you can, you can build yourself and become your own interpreter. So The skills building institution is actually one of our major projects we intend to take on when we are elected as a representative. We want to make sure we have at least a public skill building institution, not for us but for the government. So today, if I'm elected as the representative of District 10, when I leave, the next person will come. The school will still be there, but it's for the people of District 10. It's not my personal school. So you can go there. You learn how to become a plumber. You learn how to become a professional.
So you're going to build the school with your own money and then turn it over to the government, or how is it going to be?
First we're going to try to lobby for it first. We're going to use the government. We're going to lobby for it. There is money there for healthcare. I'll come back to you. We're going to lobby for it. There is money there for healthcare. We're going to come back to it because when we talk about education as well, there is money there for education. So if we're telling you, okay, this is what District 10 needs. Like, for example, I'll give you an example. You see the markets? When the President Weah was taking up the market project, it was a project for empowerment. There was money for it. So you have to cite the different districts that really need it. District 10 benefited because they needed it. The people from Douala benefited because they needed it. The people from Red Light benefited because they needed it. So it's the same way. It's not only District 10. And I'm sure some of my colleagues, when we come together, we network and we understand that skills building institution can benefit a lot of our young people and take them from the ghetto. Mm-hmm. There are other districts that also need that. It's not just District 10. So if we lobby, it's not just going to affect only District 10. There will be other districts that will benefit from it as well.
Okay. So before Washington comes in, I want to ask you this question. I didn't get any clear, answer when it comes to the women. Your intervention with the women, and I want to hear what you're doing with girls, disadvantaged young girls in your district. And let me hear about what exactly you're doing with the women. I hear you say we engage the women. What is your engagement with the women in your district?
Okay, so most of the communities you go to, you hear almost all of the women tell you that they are jobless. Some of them are doing little market. No, so I'm coming. I like to be honest in my conversation, because the reason why you see me keep telling you that there is funding there, because I want to be held accountable for what I say. Because today when you tell them when I become, I'm going to use my personal money. Why am I going to take $200,000 or $300,000 from to build an institution?
You already say you're going to use your personal money if you don't have money.
I said we're going to lobby for the lab.
For the lab.
Yes, that is a project that I can take on. And there's even funds that come in that can be pushed to that.
Okay.
When you talk about that 30,000 that comes on the floor, that every lawmaker receive, that 30,000, if you are taking it and bringing it back to your district, those are projects that you can use, that the people can benefit from. When we talk about the library,
what you want,
yes,
what the people want is another thing.
Of course,
not what you want, but what your people want.
Yes, anything that's going to develop someone's child is the future of that person. Of course, that's what the people want.
That's what you think they want.
No, that's what they want, because we have done our investigation. People want to see the kids comfortable. They want to see the kids go to a school and have a more welcoming environment.
Okay, so
but they cannot afford it. Yes.
Okay.
So we'll go back to where we talk about the women. So we go into these communities, we talk to our women, and then we realize that a lot of our women needs job, they needs to be empowered, and they reach out, and we cannot help everybody at the same time. So sometimes we take few persons from there and we don't give them loan. We just give them a little grant that you can add up to what you already have. So I don't do with people who are not involved in business, because you giving someone money who have not done business before or don't know how to manage or start a business, it becomes a problem. At the end of the day, you give that individual the money and you're not sure if they're going to use it, and we cannot come back to every individual one by one to find out if you actually use that money for the purpose we give it to you. But for those that are already doing a little, for example, or little selling plenty chip in that community that we got to, I recognize you. Someone selling banana on the road, someone has a little water in a cooler and selling with a soft drink. So what we do, we enhance your business. We gave you a little grant to add to what you already have to help you raise that business up.
A grant of how much?
Sometimes we give our women 10,000 Liberian dollars to add up to what you have. It depends on what you are
How many
doing.
women have you, the lives of how many women have you affected?
Almost
Approximately.
majority of our communities we go to, we take at least, the least we can take is 5 women for now. So we are not trying to do anything that will embarrass us, and we are not trying to create a case scenario where we cannot go back into our communities. So it's just a way of starting. So if you impact 5 women from that community now, and after a couple of months you do another 5, after a couple of months you do another 5, you are impacting a lot of women.
What is the population of your district?
We have over 85,000, and we have like 57,000 that actually register to vote.
I was just asking because if you're impacting 5 persons from a
We
community.
have about 33 communities.
Okay.
Yeah, so we decided to take it small. I'm not working in government.
Start doing that. Do you have to work in government before you?
I don't have the funds that's coming in for someone to say, okay,
You
I
have
should
a
do
foundation.
I don't I don't work in government. I don't work in government. I don't work in.
Insinuating you don't work in government. So what?
There are people who work in government and cannot even help someone next door. So at least we are still trying to make impact, even though we don't have that funds coming to us.
There are people who are in government who don't want to be representatives.
There are people who are in government that's taking taxpayer money as the salary and still close the doors to people next door and still wind the glasses up. There are still
people when you were just 10, 15 years back, or because you want to be a lawmaker.
No, I started my journey a long time ago. It's not just in my district. Even before I declared my intentions, long before, even during the COVID time, I was all over in my district. I distributed food, I distributed buckets, I educated people on preventing themselves from COVID. I was in Bumney County, I visited orphanage home.
To become a
No, I wasn't even thinking in that direction. It's politics are one of the things I did not see. I did not even like it.
So why did you come to politics?
Because I realized that our people have elected a lot of lawmakers that are just there for themselves and not the people. And with my level of experience coming from the private sector, with what I understand when it comes to being, with understanding the people, the needs, the wants, and being a humanitarian, having that connection with my people, and my full experience from the private sector, understanding branding, marketing, as an engineer, thinking out of the box. I believe if I'm bringing that on the table, coming to the parliament, I'm not just coming because it's my first job. I'm coming because I want power, no, but I'm coming with the mindset of making change. I want to be part of those people that make change and say, yes, I can stand up with my generation today and say, I was one of those young people that stood up for my people.
Okay, so I heard you say that you're a widow, right? But I heard you say you're Karishma Pelham, right?
Yes.
And then where is the Raad from? Have you remarried?
No, I was married to the Raad before the Pelham. So after I married my husband as a Pelham, my husband passed. So I had my name in my passport back then because I have to go back and forth to Lebanon to see my son. So I had it in that way so that I don't have any issues going to see my son and coming back. And my husband and I had an agreement. He didn't have a problem with it. So the Pelham name stays in the middle of my name when I was married, and the Raad stays at the back. So it's been like that since. So I've not been remarried.
Oh, okay.
I'm still a widow.
Do you have money to campaign?
I am campaigning.
Where do you get the money from?
We are lobbying with our friends, families, people that believe in us. So sometimes people tap in through our mobile money. Somebody will say, okay, I can contribute 200, 300, 500, 100 to your campaign. That's why we reach out to most of our friends, people who believe in our struggle, but we don't have anyone from any political party that is supporting us.
Is it a difficult thing as a female?
It's very, very, very difficult.
Do you get frustrated sometimes?
I remember reaching out to someone who was really into politics, and the person told me that they can't support me until I'm the girlfriend.
How did that make you feel?
I felt like I was actually hearing something that was not next to me. That's what I felt like. I felt like, okay, this is just one of those things you're going to hear, Karishma. You know you're going to hear more than that, right? I was literally talking to myself while I was seated. And then I responded. I don't know where it came from. I just told the person, I said, then you really don't have to support me. And the person said, okay, then you're not ready to be a lawmaker. I said, no problem. The people will decide whether I'm ready to be a lawmaker or not. And trust me, you're going to see my name on that ballot paper. And then I said, thank you for listening to me. Can I take my leave now? And the person was looking like me, like they were, they're like, I will support you. I can support you. Whatever you need, I will give it to you. I'm like, thank you. And I walk away. So apart from that, we experience a lot of other things. Some people will see the potential in you. They will not want to support you because they believe that you're going to grow and grow past them.
Okay.
So we still not deter. I'm a young woman. I one of my biggest strengths is networking.
Okay. Do you think the women of Liberia have a safe space, when it comes to women in politics? What's your thought?
I don't think the women have a safe space. I would just take it from where we just overcross when it has to do with the NEC process. A lot of our women drop out.
Why do you think they dropped out?
The process was tense. If you want to go as an independent candidate, you need to have $10,000 in your bank account. You need $500 for your candidate registration. You have to pay it at the central bank. You need another $500 for your paper submission. You need $100,000 indemnitable bond. You need your tax clearance. 300 registered voter signature as a petition. You have to publish it in 2 different newspapers. And each of the newspapers charge not less than $800, unless if you have a very good relationship with one of those newspapers and you can actually beat them to help you for $600, $650, or $700 black and white print. Each of them. So you pay at least $1,600 for the 2 publications. If you're paying $800. I think my calculation is right? Okay. And then you needed to do some paperwork to give out your citizenship, to tell the people, yes, okay, I'm really a Liberian. After even registering as and having your voter registration card. And then you needed to also confirm your domicile information, where you live, that you actually stays in the district. You have to be able to notarize that. And then that petition stuff I talked about, you had to notarize that document. Is over 40 some more pages. And other small
for female candidates, or it was for everybody?
It was for everybody, but most of the men candidates are right on. If you look at the process of political parties, because we were pushing 30% of women participation in the political space, right? Even though it has not been passed, but that's what we've been pushing as women advocates and all of that. So we anticipated, based on the Farmington Declaration and with all the interventions from the international community on the 30% women quota, that we were going to see more women being taken on political parties tickets. But it wasn't like that. So most of the women had to go on the side as an independent candidate. And then when it comes to that process, they got stuck up. So some of them had to go to parties.
Different if you went to, was it a different a situation if you were
on the political party ticket?
Yeah.
Yes. If you are on a party ticket, for example, let me use UP, right? So if you are on the UP ticket, so if UP is carrying you in the district for district number 5, I don't need to do anything. I just need to give my tax clearance. And then the party perhaps have a certain fee that you have to pay. It depends on the party structure, what they're charging each candidate to pay for the candidacy fee to the party. And that's it.
Okay, then you don't pay
anything. Okay. And then the political party only needed $10,000 in the bank account, same as an independent candidate. And we put over 200 names to send as on the list. So it's like, it's not balancing the equation It's more like pushing independent candidates away,
Okay.
or trying to discourage people from coming in as an independent candidate. A majority of the women that were running that are competent to make change in the various districts were people that wanted to go as an independent body. Some of them did not, because they had to go some way to use other political parties that they have absolutely no connection with to bypass that process to be able to come out as a candidate for those on those party tickets.
Okay, I see where you come from with that, because if the 30% quota was something that the political parties were going by,
But
then
thank
at
you.
least a lot of women
incorporate more women,
right
yes.
on that. But then if not, you had to go as an independent candidate, and then you go through all of that.
It's like the procedure is more like going as a party.
Okay, Washington.
Yeah. So, Karishma, thank you very much. Is this your first time running?
Yes, this is my first time running. I'm excited.
What you made me laugh. What enacted this? Do you think you are much more formidable, to capture this district number 10, on a first time political journey?
I believe anything is possible. I believe anything is possible, and I believe, yes, I can, and I'm working towards that. We are in the communities with our people. We are engaging our people. We are on the media, both traditional and social media, communicating with our people. We are using every means to convince our people why they should choose us as the representative comes October 10, 2023 for edition number 10, and why us.
Okay. So you said something in your earlier statement. You talked about giving the right message the wrong way, like Representative Yeke Koluba. We go back to Representative Koluba. So in your mind, I know one of the reasons why you want to run in District number 10 is because you feel that Representative Koluba has not been, channeling the message the right way. I want to believe that. Now, do you think this representative of District number 10 has delivered on anything in the district for which you're running?
I have not seen anything. I've not seen Yeke having a conversation at the parliament. If I'm wrong, please correct me. Where he's actually putting out a particular issue that affects District number 10, and his colleagues listens. He sits down, they have that conversation, they discuss the issue, and they find a solution. If you have anything, please share with me.
Okay.
So I believe that the issues concerning the people of District number 10 have not been addressed. I believe that maybe he's focused on other national issues, but not issues that concern the people of District number 10. And that even with the issues that has to do nationally, he also don't address it in the appropriate way. The messages are there. There are important messages that he can portray, that important messages that he has. But how he presents it what makes those messages not being listened to and no results being getting. And this is not the one.
If you were to give Yeke a score for, representing your district for the last 6 years, what would be that score?
Yeah, what would be that score?
I will give Yeke -0.
What? That is not good.
That means Yeke has absolutely done nothing for the district in your mind. Now, you're running on an independent ticket, Karishma Pelham-Raad. You're running on an independent ticket, and there's a problem. I listened to a couple of people in your district. They said, why did you endorse the presidential bid of Mr. Barker and Jeremiah Kuhn? This could cause your campaign a serious problem, because if you were running independent and Representative Yeke Koluba has been supported by JNB and Ellis Commons, why must you endorse the presidential bid of JNB?
Okay, so let me make this clear. This is a very good question. I like that. So, firstly, I endorse the ticket of UP. I'm supporting Honorable Barker's ticket, and Cummins. I'm supporting Honorable Barker for the presidency in Senator Kuhn for the vice presidency. So I have my reason. I think most people know me today. I'm on air. Most people know me to be a sedition, but I chose not to support President Weah for second term. I have my reasons. I have 3 reasons: massive corruption, insecurity in the country, and bad governance. Those 3 reasons. So based on that, I decided not to support him. And then I'm not going to discuss the CDC. I'm not going to discuss Judge Weah. But let me get this point first. First, Yaka is an independent candidate. I want you to know that.
Yeah, but he has it. They have endorsed him.
I'm coming. Nobody have endorsed Yaka.
Okay, go ahead. They endorse him.
Oh no, you getting it wrong. So Yaka can come out to the public and be very strict and says that he's supporting Honorable Boyka's and Jeremiah Kuhn's ticket, or he's supporting Alexander Kumi's ticket with Charles Bromskin. He has not given his direct support to any of those tickets yet.
Candidate in District 10.
I'm coming, but even with the fact that they don't have a candidate in District 10, if today Yakas come out and say he's going to be supporting Alexander Cummings' ticket, the United Party is not going to come to District 10 to campaign for him.
So that's what you're waiting for, right?
No, I'm not.
But what if he supports Unity Party?
Well, if he comes out today to support the Unity Party, I still support the ticket of JMB.
No, it's not about your support to JMB. It's about JMB's support to you, because
No, I'm not.
if Yeka comes out to support the ticket of Joseph Yuma Bwaka, the Unity Party is going to support him in district number 10.
Okay.
It's for Yeka to come out and say, I'm going Bwaka's way or I'm going Cummings' way.
Okay, so
What happens if he comes up and say, I am supporting JMB, and JMB, returns the favor? Unity Party, go and, cast your ballot for Yeke Koluba.
No. Let me come to you. See, you see what I love about the Liberian people, especially my district 10. They will vote for who they want to vote for when it comes to the representative based on what they want. If you are the person they want to make the change for them, if they see you as the redeemer of district number 10, they will vote for you. When it comes to the presidency, they will vote for who they want. So when I go to run my campaign, I run my campaign with my people. I tell them why they should support me, and they see what I am involved with and what I'm capable of doing, and my experience, my level of experience, and how I can represent them.
Karishma.
When it comes to the presidency, when it comes to the presidency, I tell them I'm supporting JMB. I don't even have a problem if JMB comes in my district to run a campaign for Yeka today. It doesn't affect me in any way.
How are you going to say that?
No, it doesn't affect me anyway. I have my relationship with my people. My people know me.
The endorsement of
JMB. I'm not looking for any endorsement.
You would not appreciate an endorsement when you're
for any JMB. I am supporting JMB from a very clear standpoint.
Agreed.
I am not looking. Let me make it very clear. I'm not looking for an endorsement for any political party,
including the party that
I am supporting. Yes, I'm not looking for an endorsement. What I'm looking for, or what I'm working towards, is my people in my district to make the right decision. And how I'm doing that, I'm engaging my people.
So you care less whether
I'm not looking for no endorsements.
Thank you. Let's
you can endorse him, right?
Let's go.
I did already. I endorse him.
So let's go to the lines. District 10 tonight is your night. 0880-514-096 are the numbers. 0880-514-096 are the number. Today we have Karishma Pelham-Raad in studio from district number 10, and she has outlined almost all of the things that she's involved with in the district. And tonight is your night. District number 10 on day open conversation. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening, Ravina. Good evening, Titi. Good evening to Karishma, the CEO guest today. I'm Joseph Emmanuel Kappa calling you from the political arena of District 16 to Sadwara.
Go ahead, Joseph. Karishma, you speak to me.
Yeah, thanks so much, Ravina, for your brilliant and excellent encouragement to lead. But I want to know you as a physician, and you said that because of rampant corruption, I want for you to state some of those rampant corruption for which you have decided to remove yourself from CDC. You are now a United Party regime. That's my question.
Thank you very much. Good evening.
Good evening, Washington and 50B.
Good evening.
This is E. Anshaw, Chairman for We Are One Roundtable.
Go ahead quickly, sir.
Yeah, I have a question for my sister in studio there.
Go ahead.
She said that she grade Honorable Yeke Cordoba 0%.
Yeah.
Then my question is, and she now supports the former ruling party. What Ambassador Bwaka did in his 40 years as government official and vice president, and she outlined issue why she's not supporting the president and why she did why about her issue on corruption with Bwaka and the Unity Party. And my second question is, I listened to her. I didn't hear anything about this disadvantage youth in our district. What would she do for those people is elected? The disadvantage youth. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir. What's your name and where you call from quickly?
Yeah, my name is Matthew Kafia. Yeah, I call from GSA Road.
Go ahead, sir.
Yes, I want to appreciate Madam Karishma. She spoke well, and she sounds very articulate and eloquent, and she can make a good representation for district number 6. I have several families. Yeah, district number 10 rather. I have several families in district number 10, and I'm going to encourage some of those who register to vote for her because she can be very innovative in her voice, and I think she can make a good representation.
Thank you very much. We are in District 10 tonight. Good evening, and what's your name and where you call from?
Thank you. This voice is Fode Mohammed Kakwe, political name, and I join you from my residence this evening. I listened to Madam Peno. Let me say bravo to you for your clear talk. You know, it's good to have female like this in our society. I'm from the African Liberation League. Madam Peno, you support female gender. Madam Sarah Besto Nyanti is a female. But then I listen to you saying that you support Joseph Yuma Bwaka presidency and not going the female way. Madam Nyanti is contesting for the presidency and you're not supporting her as a female, but rather going to Joseph Yuma Bwaka. And let me get close on this. I want to be a soothsayer. I know you said one politician. You went to them for assistance, and then they
go to the point, please. We don't have
a lot of your time, please.
You said one politician.
Oh man, you ready, Eva?
Kakwe, thank you. Good evening.
Yes, sir. Good evening.
Yes, sir.
My name is Isaac Juana. I'm calling from Kovacho community.
Okay, Isaac. Go ahead,
Yeah,
sir.
I want to thank you so much for the studio guest. I think politics is still.
Oh, Isaac. Yeah.
You're trying.
You're trying, Isaac. Please try again. Let's go back to the lines and take some calls. 0880-514-096 are the numbers to call and be a part of the conversation tonight. Honorable Karishma Pelham-Raad is our studio guest tonight, and District 10 is on the open conversation. It is your time to be a part of the conversation. The questions have been posed, and she will certainly address these questions. So
you can address few questions.
Okay, so the point the guy made was very good, but I want to get something clear. You know, we have this saying that because we are female, women are forced to support us. I believe in an open statement. It doesn't mean because we are females, meaning we are bound to support all females, right? We definitely are pushing for more females to come into the political space. My support and decision to support Honorable Bwaka is because I have done my full assessment, and I believe with his level of leadership and coming out of politics after 12 years and now going the other way around of enriching himself, I believe, and there is no record of corruption at a higher level behind him, that he can make a change in our society and serve as a better president for this country and put his people first. That is where my decision comes in. And then let me give a typical example. You see, at the parliament, where you hear some of the time they say, at the Senate, this bill will not cross because everybody did not vote. Let me make it very clear. At the Senate, we have 30 seats, and we have only 2 females. So meaning we have majority are men. Do all men support men? No. So you don't expect all women to support women. We are definitely encouraging most of our women to come in. Right now, I don't expect all the women in my district to support me. Definitely, some other women would see another male candidate as the alternative to support. I should respect their decisions. So
it talks about disadvantaged young people in your district.
So we actually been working when it comes to, we've been engaging the disadvantaged youth. I think I make mention on the show today when I said that we've been engaging, but one of the major issues has to do with skills development. There's nothing for the kids to do, and we're taking them now from the street. You need either a rehabilitation center, something that can actually hold a lot of people. Even if you take the kids to a rehabilitation center, after that, what next? We need a skills.
I think he was talking about the disabled community.
Disadvantage.
When you said disadvantage, he said disadvantage. Yes.
Okay. So you spoke on the disadvantage.
Yeah, that's what I would tell him.
Same thing. So
we go back to the lines and take few calls.
Talking about,
0880514096 are the numbers. District 10, your night is tonight, and Honorable Karishma Pelham-Raad, it's our prime studio guest, so we could take a few more questions. And why is it that you think she wants to run in district number 10, and some of the things that you have seen her doing? Call and give your question so she can answer. Let's get this person. Good evening. Good evening. Sir, can you shift a little bit? You're coming in to stop this, sir. Bad, very bad network. Hello?
Hello.
Sir, can you try back? Zero 8805.
Did we lose him?
Yes, I think so. But network is very bad. 0880514096 are the numbers to call, and you will be part of this conversation.
How many numbers are you calling here?
I call him 5, I call him 9, I call him 1, I call him 4, I call him 0088. Good evening.
That person.
Good evening.
they have to go away from the
Yeah.
They have to go away from the radio.
Hello? Hello? Good evening. Good evening. Good evening.
Hello.
Yes, sir. Good evening. What's your name and where you call from?
Good evening. This is Sam. Hello.
Sam, go ahead, sir.
Yeah, I'm calling you from Summertown, District number 10.
Go ahead, Sam.
Yeah, I follow the conversation. Is this a conversation with Karishma?
Yeah, this is the conversation with Karishma.
Okay. I follow Karishma all the time, and I'm proud of some of those things that she's presenting, especially that she mentioned the importance of the affirmative action for female participation. That's the 30%, which we not seeing, currently happening in our political parties. So, regarding the message to Honorable Yage Kolova, I think she hit the track. He has a very good platform, and sometimes they come a manner in which he chose.
So you're going to vote for her as an alternative?
Alternatively, yes, we can say she has a 70%.
Are you going to vote for her as an alternative?
Like I said, alternatively, she has.
Book.
Good evening. Good evening.
Wake up. This is
Hello.
I think
Isaac, go ahead. I think you're having a very bad network, but let's try and manage you. Go ahead.
Okay, I think the perfect bank
Isaac,
coming from
Isaac,
there.
you will not still
And
getting your
then
turn.
running on. Yes, sir.
Sorry, Isaac. We
Yeah,
didn't hear that.
Isaac still.
Oh, wow.
I didn't know. What is Isaac doing with our line?
You, man. Good evening. I'm telling you. Hello? Is Isaac still on the line?
I'm managing. I keep taking it off. Wait, you keep telling me.
Isaac, stay on the line. What's going on? Isaac, we are not getting you. Please, can you drop the line? We're very sorry. So, can you? There are other calls that are coming in. We're not getting them. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir. Go ahead. What's your name? Where you call from?
Yeah, my name is Joseph Martin. I call from District 5, Mont County.
Go ahead, sir.
Yeah. Let me say thanks to the studio guests there for the well explanation, and John, thank you for everything you continue to do. But my attention has been drawn to the grading system of the honorable man Yenge Kolba.
Mm-hmm.
That is, she graded Yenge Kolba to be -0. And I believe he is the citizen of district number 10. And you are people that elected Yenge Kolba to power. And if they elected Yenge Kolba to power and he work in the district that he is not doing it properly, they are the one that need to put Yenge Kolba feet on fire to do the proper work. I want to know what if she has one day reason Kolba to meet me on the presentation of his message to the government of what they need to do for the district.
Okay, thank you, sir. That's a good.
You're going to cost me, eh?
Good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
Sir, go ahead. What's your name and where you call from?
Okay, thank you so much. My name is Utele. I'm calling from district number 1.
Go ahead, sir.
Okay, thank you. From I just turned the radio.
We don't need all the explanation.
No, yeah. What are you trying to learn? Just go and ask a
We don't have
question, sir.
time,
We
sir.
didn't know when you told.
Hello?
Just go to the point, please, sir.
Yeah. I say I want to appreciate the madams because even though they're not registered in district number 10, but I got my sister family in district number 10, for to know I will convince her to support her. I very appreciate she can make better representation in district number 10.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Let's go to the lines. Good evening. District 10 is on our open conversation tonight. Good evening. Are we there? Good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening, sir. What's your name and where you call from?
I'm quiet 44.
Did we lose it?
Clarence?
I
Clarence?
left.
Clarence?
Yeah.
Clarence, we are losing you, sir. Can you shift a little bit?
So
Clarence, you have to call back, sir. Good evening. Yes, good evening, sir. Sounds like Bobby.
Yeah, let me see. Karishma, what is the Nesca?
Bobby.
I think the network is really bad today.
I think so.
I think we have a bad network for tonight. Yeah.
Bobby, we're losing you, sir. Bobby?
Right?
Yeah, we're losing you, Bobby. Bobby, we're losing you, sir. We can't continue with you. Good evening. Good evening. You're hearing us.
Hello?
Yes, sir. What's your name and where you call from?
I'm Prince Stacey Williams calling from. Hello?
Go ahead, sir.
I'm Prince Stacey Williams calling from Johnsonville community.
Go ahead, Mr. Williams.
You want to be?
I want to say,
Please
Yeah,
put the
Mr.
radio
Williams,
up
up the
behind you,
monitor,
or you
please.
lower the volume of your radio. You can't be talking to us and be hearing yourself in the background, sir.
Mr. Williams? We'll leave you there. Good evening.
Yeah, what's it going to do? Getting me?
Yeah, very clear now, Bobby.
Thank you. Let me appreciate Mrs. Ray. But my district chairman has to do with unknown scolding up with Yeke Koruba. Mrs. Ray needs to be, careful, grading system. She must firstly applaud, the Koruba for those advocacies today that the people of Congo has market bidding through his advocacy. Today you say rules, today you say rules. Anyway, today you say rules.
He advocate for roles for the people of District number 10, Bobby? No, he did not. He did not.
Karishma.
Bobby, let's be honest now. You won't be on the radio here with me. Let's be honest. Why have he actually advocated for something?
So we don't need to swear, I will not go hard with you because we are politicians, but we must appreciate the current lawmaker.
No. We appreciate the man when the man address issue properly. You vote for me. Say you voting for Yeke. You not vote for Yeke, you vote for me. Yeah, you not vote for Yeke, you vote for me. Bobby, who you vote for in District number 10?
I eat this fish, right?
You said it on this radio. Don't forget.
The last time you told you, where's in District 2?
No.
In between, get this out.
Bobby,
Take you back.
not consistent, man. Clearly.
Please lower the volume of the radio. Lower the volume of the radio.
Monitor off, please.
Hello?
Go ahead, sir. What's your name and where you call from?
Yeah, I'm Paris Potty. I live in District 9. But I left when I went to District 10. So I know what can I we get paid. Yeah. You can get tired of it.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, you thank you.
Good evening.
Yeah, good evening. I'm Joseph Emmanuel Grammy, intellectual graduate. I'm following you for the political arena of the 16.
Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, I want to say congratulations to Karishma for her breaking explanation, for leading the CDC and joining the Unity Party. But I want Karishma to give me.
Oh.
We beg you, please call back. I want to know what you want me to give you.
So we take at least 2 more callers and then we come back to our guests to complete.
Hello, madam.
Yeah, my name is Teresa M. Bassett from District Small Island Community.
Okay, madam. Go ahead. Karishma is here with us.
I just want to appreciate my incoming honorable Karishma daughter for whatsoever she said to me, and she did do a lot of good things for us, like giving a grant. I have received a grant from her, and then she put a free Wi-Fi on the island for us so that we can be able to get access to internet. So she gave us being a leader for the district.
You watching her now, eh?
And they use the Wi-Fi now.
Yeah,
Let's talk to our caller.
Find a caller, man. Yes, sir. What's your name and where you call from? District 3. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, I just want to appreciate you still get tonight. And one thing that she said that I disagree on that, she claimed that get covered as 0%. So let's do a research in the district.
Okay.
What kind of research she should do to get code 100%?
She used her own brilliant skill.
I'm okay. Yeah,
Because you calling from 3.
What kind of research you want her to do?
I think he left. He called. You calling from 3. They will want to live in 10. So I think who can better go? Karishma, let's go back to you. A lot of people are whipping you while you create. So can you talk about that?
Yeah, I can tell people for a fact that a lot of people think that Yeke have actually delivered for the people of District 10. And, because, our societies support a lot of negativity, right? Some of the people that really, really supports him on the media are people that does not live in District 10. Most of those people, they don't live in District 10. They have no impact. They don't understand what it's like for the people of District 10. But I would say in the more Congo way, the indigenous of District number 10, right? The people that live in District number 10, they understands what it means by bad representation. This is what they have been getting for the past 6 years. And this is not what they want to sign up for comes 2022. I would say 2024 because after election 2023, we have inauguration 2024. And you still have to accommodate the Yeke until at the end of
Are you
December.
taking into consideration those people who have left their districts to come to district number 10 to vote for Yeke because they like the insults that he rains on everyone?
They still cannot mount up to the people we have that are living in district number 10.
The man is
So-
the incumbent lawmaker. If you
Yeah.
have other people coming from other districts to register in your district, being a representative of any district, you just need a simple majority to become the lawmaker of that district. So,
So-
being the incumbent, it comes with, a lot of, advantages. So, and then you have a group of people, you listen to somebody who says they're in district number 9, they went to district number 10 just to vote, to register to vote for Yeke Kolowa. There are several other people who have done that according to what we've been hearing.
Okay, so we are not looking at that. You cannot still compare the people, the 1 or 2 people that will leave from the different districts to come to district number 10 equal to the people that live in district number 10. We are working with our people in the district.
You are
I will give-
17 of you who are running in that district.
Yeah, but when you talk about the major contenders in that district, we are just 4.
Everybody's going to take something, though.
Even with that,
Who are the
still,
major contenders, you think?
Yeke is one. There's a fact that he's the current
So,
incumbent.
possibility for him to become a lawmaker again, you're not going to rule out that.
So I will not say that there is no possibility because it's not possible for the fact that he's the current seated lawmaker. So there is a possibility, but in the sense that the people knows what they want to sign up for. I will use the U.S. election as an example. Someone will say it has been very difficult to have a one-term president under the governmentship or under the democratic form when it comes to the U.S. But we've seen that happen when it came to Trump administration. It was something that people would say, is that possible? It can't happen. It would never happen. But it happened. And then the District 10 is also noted for not retaining the lawmakers.
Oh, okay, that's your record there.
Yes.
So who are the four
So they had Judah Barron, and then Judah Barron came the next time he wanted to run, and the Yeke Kolowa took it out. So it's the same. It's always.
yeah, you said there were 4, top
contenders.
Okay, so as Yeke Kolowa, it's me, it's Yeke Kolowa, it's Josephine Davis, and there's a boy that is from the Peace Island area where I have my office. His name is Yeke Sekui. So we are 4. So the major contenders in district number 10.
I like
that's
the
what I
way you
am.
put yourself among the major
Yes,
contenders.
there's me and Yeke. Somebody was kind of asking before you leave, why have you not been able to meet Yeke one-on-one to talk to him about something?
Yeke and I can talk. If I pick up my phone, I'm going to call Yeke, he'll pick my calls. I'm one of those persons in the district that if Yeke and I meet somewhere, we'll hug each other, we'll shake hands. Because after politics, there's a whole different
Have you
life.
been able to talk to him about the insults and all the manner and form in which it
I'm not willing to get more insulted. I've been insulted by Yeke publicly, both on the radio, the media. So I'm not willing to go that route. So where the insult come, it shouldn't be directly in my face. Let it be, in fact, for me, I can actually drink a cup of water and swallow that.
So we're totally out of time.
Okay,
We'll give
that's
you 30
good.
seconds to
Okay,
conclude.
Patrick.
So let me say a very big thank you to the team for hosting me tonight. Titi, thank you for having me in Washington. I really appreciate the invite, and it was definitely a conversation. Yes.
Exactly.
And I want to say, I have a very strong team, Team Karishma. They have been working endlessly. We were just from under the rain. I was partly wet sitting here, and my team is a very, very pushy team. I want to say thank you to Team Karishma for everything that you do for me day and night. The team is strong. And to my people of District 10, I want you to go to that ballot box and vote for a change, a proper representation, good governance, so that the people of District 10 will have a good administration for the next 6 years. We can be able to do a lot of stuff to develop our young people, fight the issue of drugs in our district, to make sure that our young people are not getting abused to the level when it comes to substance abuse, and to make sure our women gets the kind of empowerment they need through skills building. Thank you very much for having me. It was nice being out here tonight.
Thank you very much. It's a goodbye for me.
Okay, join us, God willing, tomorrow evening for another edition of Open Conversation right here on ELBC Radio. Karishma, we wish you all the best in your endeavors, and hopefully this will not be the last time we talk, because we're still in electioneering period, and so maybe we'll have you some other time on this radio. But all the best to you as we go to elections. Thank you so much for taking up your time to sit with us this evening on Open Conversation. Thank you. Join us tomorrow again. As I said, the conversation is open. Let's continue to keep it open and savor. We will see you when we see you.
From the east to the west, north to the south, let's come together at home. What are you for? From the east to the west, north to the south, let's come together at home. They say you're not there, we stand, if not there, we fight. If we not celebrate, we do it for you. What are you forgetting that? You from Lower County, you from Maryland. What are you from?